Hello, hello. Hi, can you hear me now? Oh, I'm sorry. I just wasted what 4 minutes talking to nothing. My muted mic. So, wait, let me restart. So, I have linked the link in the description. So just click on the link and come to this page. So there are a few terms and conditions here, which first one is for non-commercial use only. You use it for animation practices, demo reels, and education purposes. You are free to change the model, change the look of the model, and then do not redistribute and re-upload this rig elsewhere. And this is the download button. And before you download, there's actually a survey here that you can fill in if you like. So how it looks like, the contents of the download. So this is the rig MA file, and there are two readme texts in Japanese which my computer doesn't read very well. But I'll show you how to use it. And there are 4 mail scripts here which I will introduce. I'll show you later. So this is how it looks like. It's a faceless character. It looks simple, and there are guidelines all around the body. There's a cross, and there are lines on the arms and legs. So it's a good way to track your poses. So this rig is mainly focusing on lets you focus on doing body mechanics. There are no fancy details like facials and cloth and whatever. So, yeah. So let's get down to it. So there are controllers around the rig, but for me I prefer to use the picker. So these 4 mail scripts are actually the picker themselves. So how do I load these mail scripts? So if you notice, there's finger L and R, finger R and L, LR and RL. So it's actually the orientation where you want the left and right to be at. Right, for example, let me open up the script editor. And to load the script, you can just drag and drop it into the script editor. Right, I will load this first, pre-rig LR. So in order to have the picker working, you need to open up the outliner, select on the model 00 node, that's the base node of the character of the rig, and you run the script. So here is the picker. As you can see, I loaded the LR version of the mail script, so L is on the left side and R is on the right side. So personally, I prefer the other side, the other way around. I like the RL. So drag and drop into script editor, select the base node and then run it. Yeah, so R is on this side and L is on this side. Cool. And well, fingers, the next one will be fingers. Same thing, just drag and drop. I like the RL. Drag and drop into the script editor, select the base node and then run it. So this is the picker that is provided with the rig. So this is because this is a Japanese rig. Actually, Japanese rig sometimes they like to, not sometimes, most of the time they like to separate their translations and rotations. For example, if you can see here, it's a R hand trans. So this controller only controls the translation, and the other one is for rotation only. And then they like to use IK a lot. For example, the spine, they like to use IK spine with rotation, so you can't really rotate the body forward. You have to use the spine translation to do this. Same thing goes to the head. The head uses translation as well to look around, and use rotation to do the tilts. Yeah, I worked with several Japanese clients before, and their rigs are really, a lot of times are like this. They like to use translations as a way to like rotate the body, and also separating the trans and rotations. So as you can see here, there's a select mode on top, there's replace, add on top. So for me personally, I like to use add. So what this does is, alright, let's go to replaces. So what replace does is just replacing your selection. Right now I'm selecting the hand trans, so when I click hips trans, I'm selecting the hips instead. So it's replace. And add means additively I select, for example, I select the hand, select the hips. Okay. Let me restart. Run the command again. So it's easier if you just save the mail script in your shell. Please add. Yeah, now it's working. So select the trans, hand trans, spine trans, hips trans, another head trans, feet trans, so we can move the whole upper body. They're also like selecting all controls, all body controls, all translation controls and rotation controls. Yeah, personally I like to use the add selection mode, so I can do something like what I showed you before. And because the translation and rotations are separated, sometimes it's hard to pose, so I like to use add selection mode, and I select both right hand, for example, right hand trans and right hand rod at the same time, so I can do rod rotations and translations in one go. Trans rod, even the legs as well, trans and rod. Right. If you only select one, you can't do rotation at all. Yeah. So one downside of this rig is the translations are actually not 0 by default, so they have values hidden. So if you want to set everything to 0, the whole rig might collapse. So I think this might be because it's easier for them to transfer animations. I'm not sure. So yeah. So my suggestion is before you animate anything, maybe just set a key on the T-pose in case you need to return to default values. And yeah, I think that's all. Anything else? Yeah, so let me just post something real quick with this. Oh yeah, the fingers are also selectable from this mesh here. Apart from hand rotations, there is also this this offset controls that you can offset the rotations even more. And this round sphere here, where you can control the 4 fingers all together. And these are all the individual joints of the fingers. Yeah, hips, there's only one rotation for the hips, one translation and one rotation. Yeah, it's a bit unintuitive, but yeah, I guess this is their version of very stripped down version of this rig. I'm pretty sure in the full version they will have options like FKIK switch, global or local switch, and all that thing. Let's post something real quick. This rig system is used throughout the other assets. For as far as I know, for Tekken and mostly Tekken, this is a base rig for Tekken. So underlying their characters is this rig. Of course, their characters might have like all the costumes, secondaries, hair, etc. At first, you might not get used to this this kind of rig, but I think it's pretty stable and there are not a lot of issues, and it's quite, how to say, it looks very simple. I mean, once you get used to it, it's quite easy to use. And then this rig looks good, might look good in your reel as well. used for shots where you travel through a long distance. Yeah, I mean this, well, they are basically a game production company, so it's mostly used for in-game motions and loops. Mostly it will be animated on the spot. It's still possible to have it move forward. Why not long distance? Long distance relationship is hard. I actually used this rig before in another project where it's actually a mocap job. The character actually travels long distance. So yeah, it's still possible. Somehow reminds me of the Ring Fit Adventure character a bit. Yeah, I think this is basically it. These are the rigs features. You can actually use this sphere to form a fist really quick and change the grip as well. Not sure if it works with my mirror script. Nope, doesn't work. I guess that's all. Yeah, this was BNS Rig. Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, just leave your comments. Yeah, this is a short stream. It's quite late already over here. So yeah, thanks for joining, and press like, slap like now, and then subscribe if you haven't. Okay, thank you.